I'm going for a vulnerable. I'm going for a vulnerable vibe with the just t-shirt look. Hey, Sean. I've been pushing myself to make changes, and as a dad and a business owner and a husband and a friend, there's always room to improve. And with the specific example in this video of my weight. My weight has increased over the past few years. And I say that because I'm trying to make changes, but also because I have fear in my head that I'm judged for that. And like, people may look at me who knew me when I weighed a different weight and say, wow, Sean's really gotten big. And part of me thinks that by me saying it, at least they know that I know or something. I don't know. It's a weird thing, but I was watching a video from Adam Savage's channel, and he was talking about creative block. And when you're doing a creative project, there can be times where you're like, I just can't work on this anymore. Like, I know I'm almost done, but like, I'm just not ready. And he had some really beautiful points about taking as much time as you need. Like, the question was asked him, what do you do when you have creative writer's block, essentially, or maker's block? And he said, take a break, step away. And not step away for 20 minutes or a day or a week or a month or a year, but however long you need to. And I really started thinking about that. And one of the cool points he made was that sometimes he's had projects where he stopped working on them for years and then did another project. And only because of that other project did he learn the skills and find the tools to go back and properly finish that other one that had frustrated him to the point where he had walked away. And he started to apply it to bigger things. And that's when I really started to realize that so much of what I do, especially because I post a lot of it on my YouTube channel, if I have hobbies, and I've talked about my short-lived hobbies before, like I feel guilty for getting into hobbies and getting out of them, and that people may roll their eyes and say, I don't have the attention span for this, or I'm not committed to things. And part of me is like, well, I need to do this to show that I can, to show that I still do this, that I still care. And taking the time to say, it's fine if that ebbs and flows, and to not force myself into doing something. And with the YouTube channel, that's something that I'm very glad that I've done, because if I committed myself to being just a tech review, like a gear review YouTuber, I think I would have been really unhappy with finding myself obligated to create content within a certain vertical. And you hear about YouTube burnout and creator burnout because they've got an audience that expects something from them. And if anything is expected from me at this point, looking at the momentum that I've got, it's that I'm going to share my journey and its imperfections along the way. But I've been getting frustrated with myself and feeling bad for not getting into a good workout routine yet, and still making really bad choices with my diet, and being less than super diligent with growing my company. And then even on the personal side of things, with me being a full-time dad most of the time, am I doing enough for my son? And there's just all these opportunities to be frustrated with my own performance. And the thing that Adam Savage said that really resonated with me is, he said, when you get creator's block, the first thing you can do, the best thing you can do, is forgive yourself. And if you get mad at yourself for losing interest in something, that doesn't help anything. We're all wired differently, he said. And instead of being mad about that wiring, just going with it and finding ways to follow your interests. And that really hit me of, I want to have some habits with regards to my health and my diet and my business and things like that. And I will, and I have before. And I while I'm frustrated that I don't currently have some of the healthier habits, again, in all these different areas that I used to have, or that I have had at different times, spending time right now being frustrated with myself isn't helping anything. And that's not motivating me to do it. That's not making me get excited about these things. It's just making me feel bad about how my brain is working right now and my body is working right now. And by giving myself just a little bit of space to feel the things that I feel, to follow the things that I want to follow. And if I've got a bad day, week, month, or year, it's not the end of the world. And having a mindset where I look at that as failure is only going to beget more failure, and that's not where I want to be. And so I'm making this video and being vulnerable because there are things about me that I would really like to develop better habits on that I don't have currently. And I'm reminding myself that it's okay that my interest and my willpower comes and goes and rides waves, and sometimes I get a week of good exercise in and then I fall away from it. But instead of being frustrated about it, relaxing and enjoying it, because the more of my life that I spend upset about anything about myself is just wasted life. And I think to my son and my future descendants potentially looking at me, and I would hate for someone to look at me and say he lived his life really upset that he didn't work out more, or really upset. He was just always sad about the fact that he weighed more than he wanted to and he had very bad eating habits. And if instead it's, yeah, he struggled with things here and there, but he maintained an optimistic attitude about it, and that bled into everything around him and the kind of work that he did and the things that he did and his relationships with people. Everything was better because he was just a little bit more positive. That's a legacy that I can live with more than I would want a legacy of frustration about the off time I've had from some of the habits that I may want. So I guess my advice to you is in there through that. And thanks to Adam for his, he doesn't know me. I just watch his channel and like his book, but there's ways that he applies things from his workshop to the bigger world that strike me as so relevant to what I do as a creative. And they stick with me, and I grow and I build on them in my head. And then I share them with you. And this is what that was. So go easy on yourself, give yourself a break, and you'll do it when you're ready to do it. You'll finish the project when you're ready. You'll get in a good workout habit when you're ready. But if it's not tomorrow, like I know there's this whole like start today, start now. If you're not ready, don't get mad at yourself. It's okay. We still like you. That's all I got. Thanks for watching. See you later. Bye.